Hello, beautiful people. My name is Davi. I'm joined by Abe, and welcome back to another Bear Reaction for our viewers and listeners. We hope you guys are doing well. Just a quick heads up, this episode is also available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, specifically the discussion portion of the show. And if you're looking for an uncut reaction, you'll find the link to our Patreon. We want to thank all of our patrons and our subscribers here on YouTube. So please like this video, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to our channel. Abe, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm happy to be watching the show again. Watching that first episode, I feel like I can watch
we can just binge.
This, yeah.
Yeah, no.
But I have to. They're not even starting production yet on the third season, so I'm okay with taking my time. I know people are gonna be pissed, but like I need to savor this because the show's so damn good.
It is good. I mean, it's only 30 minutes. It's only 30-minute episodes, and it's crazy how you're locked in from the start until the finish, and it ends. And
I've never had a show. No, I have, but like I think it's been a while that I've had a show that like truly locks me in. That I'm like, damn, like I could just cook it.
Keep going.
100%.
Well, let's not waste any more time.
Indeed.
Season 2. Episode 2. Yo, they're killing it with the music this season. It's crazy. They have been killing it, but it's good, man.
Look, it's probably hard for your dad to be supportive because he doesn't understand that this job doesn't pay much, it doesn't amount to anything, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, you know?
Chefs.
Not good. When are you gonna see him?
Tonight. Mom's birthday dinner.
I haven't heard about her dad at all yet.
No.
What about the Danish tea?
Those are $3K, which you said cost $2K.
Bronze Brewlist?
Those are actually $2K. You can have the Naperville nickel. Are you feeling okay, Nat? By the way, you look a little pale. Is it the Naperville nickel? Fine.
I think she's pregnant.
Your fork numbers, not fantastic.
We have too many?
Too few.
What? I promise you there aren't too few forks,
Okay,
sugar.
this is productive. I can't wait to talk about spoons.
You all make a few passes up and down.
I'm so dead.
They're DIYing this whole thing, bro.
They're using YouTube University, man.
I have to.
All right, gentlemen, I'm taking over this operation.
We have to move everything out before we scrape. Richie, you're not listening.
Look, I don't want to choose sides, but it seems like moving the lockers is the best way to do this.
Okay, fine, we'll do it your way. You take 2 guys.
That's still your
No, it's not my fucking way. There's not sides. There's one way. It's the fucking right way. Watch this.
Nat!
You called Mom?
I just want to do it right, and I do think that we need to move the lockers out first before we scrape.
So then move the lockers first?
They were just gonna move it right. What you need is an alpha, and that is not fact. They can smell his pheromones. They are weak as shit. That's just chemistry.
Move the fucking lockers.
You're shitty.
I didn't want to do it wrong.
You're shitty.
I didn't want to do it wrong.
You did call Mom, though.
Thank you, Marcus.
Yeah, but you were wrong. What? You were.
Mark is the voice of reason between these two. He's slapping him in the show, but he's kissing him at the award shows. Don't worry.
Sending you guys to culinary school.
No shit.
But I already know how to do it.
She's so excited. He's pissed.
It's about, repetition, right? And it's already built into the budget, so you'll still be paid hourly.
Yo, I'm in. Let's do it, baby.
I don't want to wear a uniform.
Okay, well, you can discuss that with the school.
It's not that kind of uniform.
It's exciting.
I accept.
Right, not left. Not left.
Take it up!
My number is 773-0901.
Pick it up, too!
Guys, I think I know the answer, but please shut the fuck up.
What's going on?
We're gonna cut it.
Assuming that was Mikey's locker. Red Sox cap.
June 5th, 2010.
Taste of Chicago.
Booth.
The booth? That was really fun.
Yo, Chef. I need more inspiration.
What do you mean?
What do all those books you gave me?
All the cookbooks?
All of them.
Okay, yeah, I'll think on it.
Cool.
Cool.
This man is bookworm.
Was that,
Mikey's locker.
there was just a hat in it?
That's it.
What?
Come on, asshole.
What? I'm not an asshole.
A little bit.
The way she said, I'm not an asshole. I'm not.
Wait.
All his denim, bro. He loves his denim. You remember that from the first episode?
Yeah.
Ibra's so scared, bro. There's got to be a playlist for these songs, bro.
They definitely have it.
Still thinking chaos menu?
Yeah, chaos menu, but thoughtful.
Chaos menu. It's just like a variety of
Sounds like it.
different dishes.
Really?
It's New York. Lame, right?
I want to hate it. Like, don't get me wrong, I do, but
It's cool.
looks sick.
Yeah.
And I bet it felt really good wearing it.
Yeah, it did.
Can I ask you something, and you can tell me to f off if you want? When you got that call, the 3-star call. Yeah, okay, yeah. How'd it feel?
First 10 seconds felt like a sort of panic because I knew I just had to keep him. I had to retain him. You know, your brain does this weird thing where it just bypasses any sense of joy, attaches itself to dread. I don't know, after those 10 seconds, I had to turn over a really slow table because the entire United Nations Security Council was coming in.
Oh my God.
So normal, totally normal.
Sounds horrible.
Fact. What's this brown shit?
I've seen some of those too. Also, why was there a hockey stick down the locker?
Sworn to secrecy. Yo, can we switch?
I need to see it.
You can see just fine from where you are.
Okay.
It's my ladder. Oh, you're such a fucking show
I
off.
got a bigger ladder.
I am so fucking cool, and you don't need to be here.
I'm the supervisor.
Supervisor of what?
Not good, guys. This is not good. This is
What's
not
not
good. Mold.
Is that bad?
Mold is the death knell.
Don't freak out and go calling for mom.
This is
okay?
scary. This could ruin everything.
Listen, it is scary, okay? And I will grant you that it's gained some traction in recent media cycles. Mold is a buzzword, yeah. Oh, Mom, she's gonna call in all the weirdos and the scientists, the abatement people. We are on Cousin's schedule, Neil Jeff.
What's your middle name?
What's my middle name?
Yeah, like what's your middle name?
Lawrence.
Well, Richard Lawrence, I'm telling Mom now.
You know what, actually? I dare you.
I dare right
I
now.
dare you. Call Mom. I dare you. Call Mom.
Mom.
I'm gonna call Mom. Call Mom. See what happens. I dare you. See what happens when you call her.
Want me to do it loud?
See what happens when you call her. Get louder.
One, you should have all received your student login after the Zoom orientations. I'll be sending you a link to the board so you can access the class notes at the end of each day.
Oh no.
It's the anxiety, man.
Cherry?
Cherry vinegar? Cherry vinegar.
They love cherry, huh?
Oh, these close-ups.
Her cutting technique is good. His is not.
You got this, baby. You got this.
She's so... I love Tina now, bro. She's one of my favorite characters.
Hey, can I ask you something? You can tell me to f off. Really want one of these bullshit stars?
Yeah, I really do.
You're gonna have to care about everything, more than anything.
The last dinner that I did was sharing a road at this lady's house, and she was so mean, and she demanded fresh pasta. Everything that I try to roll out is crumbling, and clock is ticking, and I've got this beautiful, this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous lamb ragu. I've been working on it for like 72 hours. It was perfect, but I didn't have any pasta. So I spooned that shit over King's Hawaiian rolls.
Oh my God.
Sounds delicious.
It wasn't bad.
Except before you moved in with your dad.
That is why I moved in with my dad.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
At least you can rely on him.
Oh, damn.
Is your mom cool? Oh my God. Chef, that's way too much acid.
Oh, my God.
Holy shit.
Did I f up your recipe, or?
No.
Wait, do you need Rolade or something? Did I give you heartburn?
No. It's, I'm sorry. In
Sign language.
Two of my old chefs used to do it. You know, if they were angry, fighting on the line, it helped. It was like their version of, let's talk about this later. Didn't matter if one tore the other one apart. It always got them through service.
I like that.
I haven't even told anyone I'm pregnant.
He called it.
I be knowing, man. She's telling the plumber she's pregnant, bro. Who is Gene? Do you know him?
I think she's just talking to herself. Was she?
No, she was on the phone. She definitely has like earbuds or something.
Okay, yeah, she did.
We have a mold problem?
No, we don't.
And a guy just returned our call about a mold problem and said it's definitely a mold problem.
Well, I wonder how the fuck some guy would suspect us of having a mold problem.
I don't know.
Did you call a mold man?
No.
Fact.
Richie.
Natalie, relax. It's under control. All right, these ceilings, they're practically styrofoam. Where we'd have mold, they would collapse when I go like this.
They were going to have to go anyway. Damn, he's still there. The last one? Yeah, see, he struggles with the cutting and everything. The prep. Which to me, I think is the hardest part of cooking. The prep stuff.
Prep before, yeah, cutting and everything.
But that's why Sydney's telling him like repetition. Because like that stuff, when you see the pros do it, bro, they make it look so easy. And then you try to do it yourself, you're like, duh.
What do you like?
It was our third date. We were maybe 20.
Her mom's dead.
Your mama was like a Southern belle, a black Southern belle. Yes, Beauregard. She gets out of the car. She opens the hood. She looks inside and she says, it's definitely the radiator. And I was like, yeah. Yeah.
No.
So then she walks to the back of the car, changes that damn tire in 10 seconds.
Oh my God.
You didn't know her dad was a mechanic.
I absolutely had no idea.
Oh, this must be like the anniversary of her passing or something like that.
Yeah.
It's interesting how she doesn't tell Carmi. Or maybe she just didn't want to get into it in that time. Okay, I've seen pictures of this person, and I don't know who she is. I've been trying to skip the spoilers. Who is Claire?
Yeah, facts. Who is Claire? I have seen a lot of on Twitter, everything, but
It's been,
Forever.
She's kind of cute, Carmi.
yeah, she's in, is she in Bottoms? I think she's in Bottoms too.
So how's your life been, Brazado?
I have no idea. How about you?
I have no idea.
See, that's some.
I know. But let's wait and see how Sydney reacts when she finds out.
I will have a job. It's just that payment will be deferred for 6 months. And I'm not the only one doing it. So is Carm and also Natalie.
I can tell you're excited, and I am glad you're excited.
Okay.
I also want you to know that cousin Monty always has a job for you at Boeing.
Oh my God.
I read about restaurants in the papers.
Oh my God.
And a lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of them don't work out. Yes, we've actually had this conversation
I'm saying
before.
they don't. It's just interesting that the backup plan is now the only plan.
I know what I'm doing. I've learned a lot of lessons. I'm still learning, which is actually a good thing. And also, I'm not alone, like in your house. I have a partner.
And you trust him?
Yes.
I'm just asking.
Opening a restaurant.
I love the name.
The name? You don't remember the name.
Of course I remember the name.
No, I don't think we didn't even tell anybody
You
what the name was.
100% told me the name.
I bet you $1 million.
Carmi, don't do that.
How could you remember the name?
Because you're the bear, and I remember you.
Kiss.
I guess it's just like, how am I getting my money now?
For sure.
Oh, another million, my guy.
You Venmo $1 million?
I feel like that would be really shady. Why don't you just wire it to be safe?
Deal. Yeah, no, that's clean.
Yeah, that's clean. I'll just get your contact information.
Yo, she got Riz.
Yo.
She the Rizzler.
09
09?
02.
Gave the wrong number.
He did?
Yep. I remember it was 01. He gave the wrong number. Crazy.
Oh, yeah, he said at the beginning of the
He
episode.
did.
Yeah.
He was telling the guy, yeah.
Mhm.
He gave the wrong number. Interesting.
Oh, okay. This reveals a lot about Carmi. Another fantastic episode, man. And we met a new friend, a new girlfriend, a new ex-girlfriend.
Who knows? Claire.
A new...
Who is Claire?
Probably got together back in the day. We don't know, but the tension was...
palpable.
Exactly. That was the word. And I think it revealed some things about Carmi that I think were shown in season 1. And what stood out to me was that he is a person who I think he has trouble accepting, I think, love from others. I think that's what I got from this season, from this episode, especially not giving the number, because I think he's like, no, I don't want to risk it.
Yeah.
Is that something you got from that conversation?
Yeah, I think he is afraid to get close to people. It's very clear, like, relationships are hard for him. Even if you go back to the first season, like, keeping a relationship with his sister is hard. Like, trying to talk through things with her. I mean, closeness to somebody indicates that you have to reveal things about yourself, your personal life, what goes on in your head, right? Because that's kind of what intimacy is about, like peeling back the layers and the things that you think about in the daily, the things that scare you, all that stuff. And I think that's one of his biggest fears. And I think what scared him in that conversation was, like, she not only, like, remembered him, she, like, knew, like, he could tell, like, she kind of knows him in a way. And I think that scares him because I don't think he even truly knows himself. And that's why he's kind of keeping at arm's length. And we'll find out now, like, what happens. Clearly, she's going to come back at some point. Like, there's no way that she's not going to come back. But
what if she still had his number and his number never changed?
yeah, and he's capping. I have no idea. That'd be kind of crazy, to be honest.
That would be funny.
But yeah, that would. I mean, she asked him, so I mean, I would assume she doesn't. She doesn't have his number, but she'll find out pretty quick that he gave her the wrong number.
Yep, he did. And also it was revealed that Sydney lost her mother at a very young age.
Yep.
And it also revealed that she is now older than her mother when she passed.
Yeah, so it seems like, so she probably didn't even know her mom at all. And that's why probably her dad was like telling her these stories, and it feels like she doesn't really have a memory of her mom, and the memory of her mom is the memories her dad has and is able to share with her, and that's probably hard. And we also know that she doesn't really talk about it because Carmi kind of asked her, like, is your mom cool? And she was like, yeah, and didn't really go too deep into it or anything like that. But obviously they both have skeletons and things that they don't want to talk about and all that stuff. But she seems very guarded about that part of her life.
100%. And I think also I find her very similar to Carmi as well in terms of trying to, the relationship aspect. I think she's also someone who struggles into accepting other relationships and building relationships with people. I think we've seen some positive signs with Tina. I think that is a huge thing, but I think growing close with another person, I think Sydney has some similarities with Carmi. I don't know if you got that as well. Or?
I don't necessarily feel that. I want to know what thoughts you make that, because I think personally she seems to have more of a personable side than Carmi because she has a relationship with Marcus. She has a relationship with Tina.
That's true.
She's able to tell Richie to his face like how it is.
Yes.
So I do think she's more personable, although she's guarded. Don't get me wrong. I think she's guarded in like her deepest, darkest secrets, but I think she's more personable than Carmi in the sense where she has this vibe that you want to connect with her, and she makes it easy for people to connect in a way because she's interested in them and like what they care about and all that stuff. And she's not afraid to share like her passions. But
I was being dumb. Yeah, you're right.
But I think she is guarded. Like I definitely think she is guarded.
She puts a shield.
Yeah, 100%. In that way, I think her and Carmi are similar in the sense that they have things in their lives that they're not 100% comfortable talking about, and they keep that in a box, compartmentalized away from the people that they're close to.
I think like Sydney likes to get to know someone, but doesn't want to reveal things about herself to others.
That's very possible. Yeah, that's very possible.
I think that's where I'm at now.
Yeah. And Carmi's a little bit different in that sense. I feel like he's just like kind of locked in his own world where he has moments of tenderness and understanding of people. And it's not that he doesn't want to get to know, but like I feel like he's so laser focused sometimes on the shit that's going on around him and like trying to keep things afloat that he doesn't take the time as much as Sydney to get to know people. And also, I think he is more afraid of relationships than Sydney is, very clearly.
That conversation she had with her father, I'm wondering, do you think Sydney was being selfish at that moment where her father was being like, look at the other plans as well, think of other routes, think of other avenues? Or do you think she was thinking straight?
I think that she's frustrated because obviously she wants her dad to believe in her. And it's not that her dad has no faith in her. It's just that he has already seen her fail. And you got to look at it from both sides. Like as a parent, you never want to see your kid fail. And that must have been hard for him to watch his kid fail and like take her under his wing and all that stuff. And, she figured out a plan B and all of that. And now it seems like she's kind of back to square one with the original plan that she had, starting her own business and all that stuff. And I think, he's pushing in that because he's a concerned parent. And I think that's valid. And I think her response is also valid of like, you're not believing in me. It's different this time. I have people around me. Like before, it sounded like she was doing all this stuff herself. She was putting herself in all this credit card debt and all that. But now it's like really a lot of the responsibility is mainly on Carmi. You know what I mean? Obviously, she's not going to get paid for a bit. Like she explained that to her dad. But, the money, the lot, the rent, like that's all Carmi's. Mikey left that all to him. And it's basically him and Cicero that have to deal with that. Obviously, Sydney has a part in the partnership, all that stuff. But I think that her dad is not close to it. He doesn't know the people. He doesn't see how close they actually are, even though they argue all the time like they are like a family. And I think if he saw that, he would understand her frustration with, him not believing. And I think both sides are valid.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think if you put yourself in the father's shoe, you would agree what he's saying. You put yourself in Sydney's shoe, you would agree what Sydney's saying. So I think if you look at it from an outside perspective, you understand why they're both acting this way. Yeah. And looking at the dynamic of Frack, Marcus, and Richie this episode.
Yeah.
What we talked about Richie, what I really loved about this episode was how it visually showed the struggle that he's having with his purpose. When he kicks up, he punches the roof, and then just a ton of mold falls down on him.
Comes crashing
and
down.
And then the camera continuously zooms into him, and he's just there. He just looks so defeated.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you got something from that moment.
Yeah, I think the thing with Richie is he is very clearly still doing some of the same stuff that he was, where he thinks he knows better than other people, and I think he thinks his purpose as a leader. There's this really interesting quote, or just like a thing that people talk about with leadership, is like, a lot of people think leadership is being the loudest voice in the room, but actually leadership is mainly listening and understanding what you don't know and getting the counsel of the right people. And Richie really struggles with that. Like, he does have some natural leadership traits of trying to corral people. He has this kind of charisma that he can make people listen, but at the same time, he like doubles down in places where he doesn't know better and thinks he does. And I think this is one of the examples that showed him like it all kind of crashing down. However, I think that multiple times in this episode, he was arguing with Fack. Fack was clearly right in kind of both scenarios. And when it all came crashing down, I think in the past, you maybe would have seen him react a little bit differently, in the sense of like not accepting that he was wrong and maybe being pissed off at the other people for not believing in him or whatever. But this time, like, he seemed defeated, but he also seemed accepting of the fact that he kind of caused this. You know what I mean? I think he's internalizing that a little bit. Whether or not that's gonna cause him, like right now already, to jump and improve on that, we'll see. But I do think there's a slight difference in how he's reacting now to how he would have in the past.
Yeah. What did you think of Marcus's behavior through all this? Because at the end, he made the call anonymously. It was like, "Hey, we have mold. What do you think?" What did you think of Marcus's actions through that specific moment?
Yeah, I think Marcus is a really important character in this situation, because I think he's like almost saving Richie from himself, and being that voice of reason. Obviously, Fack and Richie have this like relationship where they're just like bickering brothers almost, and like one always has to be right over the other, and Fack never gets listened to by Richie. But Marcus is like seeing all of that, and I honestly think it's perfect that Marcus is there, because he is that voice of reason. Because even in the first situation about the lockers, he was like, he's right, you should have moved the lockers, but bro, you did call mom, like, you know what I mean? Like, he is trying to understand both sides and trying to be that peacekeeper. And I think Marcus has that quality, because he is kind of like a peaceful person and like calm, even though like sometimes a little too calm, as we've seen in the last season, when things need to go. But it's actually, I think he's a stabilizing dynamic within those three.
Yeah, and then we look at Ibra and Tina heading to culinary school. Tina is really excited. She's like, "Let's go. I want to learn the process, the system, how it all works. I'm going to meet a lot of Sydneys. Like, let's get it." And then we have Ibra, who is like, "Why do I need to do this?" Because I think he knows to perfect his craft, he needs to practice it. He needs to learn the system, needs to learn the process. And I think he understands that he's, from the prep, like Sydney said, repetition, it matters. So I think he knows he's a little bit behind it. And we saw in this episode the anxiety that he was feeling going in and, staying late because he was the last one to finish. Just wondering, from Ibra's perspective, what stood out to you in this process of his character so far this season?
Yeah, it feels like Ibra is having some confidence issues. And I also think he's feeling like a little bit inferior. And I think like within the closed walls of the beef or the bear now, like he's able to rely on the people around him, and they know that people respect him and they see his value. But now, we don't know Ibra's background fully. Culinary school, I think the fact that it's school is, potentially a big one. I don't know his educational background and whether or not he had an education or what that was like. But that can be tough for people who maybe didn't do so well in school, or, struggled with schooling and all of that. And also just in general, like feeling like you almost have to start from scratch, like in the beef, in the place, like people respect you. And now you're in a place where, you start from zero, and you see that there are other people around you that are potentially better. But you got to continue to work on his craft. And I think it was actually valuable to see, he seemed a little bit defeated in the beginning, and clearly you see from his style of like cutting versus Tina's, like he's not as good as it, but as Tina, at doing it. But him staying after, I think, shows like he's still dedicated to like wanting to learn and like getting this right. And I think that's cool. And I hope that sticks for him, because I think that's going to be important for him and his confidence in cooking, you know?
That's true. There was also the conversation between Carmi and Sid at the beginning of the episode, which I think was huge for the morale of what was going on. Just wondering, what do you got from that conversation between them?
In like them prepping, experimenting and all that stuff.
And then they talked about the acid and
I thought that was a good moment. I think them experimenting together is good, because in the past it was a little bit of like Sydney kind of going on her own and thinking of trying things, and I think they were kind of boxed in by the fact that the beef was this kind of specific restaurant and it doesn't lend them to be able to experiment in this way. But now, like, they're able to start something fresh, and he knows she knows a lot. She knows she has a lot to learn from Carmi. And I think that they're kind of embracing each other and the knowledge that they have, and working together is the best way to do it. And I think that moment of like the I'm sorry and the like teaching Sydney that was a good way to say like, hey, we're going to have moments where we're going to mess up. We're going to be pissed off at each other. But like, this is the way that in the past we have like controlled the situations where it gets a little bit too heated and you say something you don't mean, but you say this and you know, like, hey, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. We'll talk about it later. And you can gather that, you know, it's fine. You can move on and just get through. Because sometimes that happens. Like you might have beef with somebody, or you might, you know, say something that hurts somebody's feelings, but you still have a job to do and you still got to get through it. And I think that was an important moment for them to recognize that they can still do that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you guessed it correctly.
It's pretty obvious.
Mom is pregnant.
Yeah. Natalie's pregnant.
And now I'm wondering how, if there's going to be a change in dynamic, if something is going to, you know, how she's going to operate through this. Or do you think you think there's going to be a change?
Yeah, it's tough. I'm thinking of a couple of different things with her. One of the things is, I think she was hesitant to take it partially because of this, but I'm also thinking like, is it responsible for her to take this knowing she has a baby coming, not only for the baby's sake, but for the restaurant's sake? Because like they have a project manager, they're going to rely on her to like help them stand all this up. And then obviously she's going to get to a point where she has to, you know, deliver the baby, take care of the baby, be on maternity leave type of thing, and balance that. And like, that's a lot to balance. You know what I mean?
It is. Yeah.
And, I'm wondering if she's scared to tell them because of that. And also I'm wondering if she's diving into this because she's nervous about being a mom. And I don't know if we know too much about their relationship with their own mother. I think that's probably going to come out a little bit more in this, specifically because she's going to be a mom. But I'm sure that plays a role into her psyche and how she's feeling about all this right now. But yeah, it's clear that she's a little bit in, not necessarily denial, but like she's kind of pushing past it like it's not happening. And she's not really letting the people that need to know.
Yeah, that's true. What I love about this show, bro, is the filmmaking process. It's made so well, and specifically with the super close-ups during dialogue. I love it. And also there's always the camera movements when it's happening. I love that so much. Just wondering, is there any aspect visually that you like when you watch the show?
Oh yeah, the framing of everything is like very, very intentional. I think one of the shots that I looked at that was like stuck out to me was when they were in the culinary school. They like had a close-up of like only the top of Ibra's head, and it was like his eye. And I think from that you can tell almost like beads of sweat and like the stress in his eye and like how much he was focused. And like it's kind of an unconventional frame because you don't see his full face, but like you can tell, you know what's happening just by looking at a section of it. And that's one of the things that I really appreciate. Like framing that's really intentional to help tell the story, to me, is important and a really good vehicle to be able to drive your narrative. So this show does that really well. And I think you get a lot from those shots.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What I really loved too was the conversation between Claire and Carmi. The lighting in that store was so dope.
Yeah.
But also you could tell Carmi was so tense. He was not comfortable whatsoever. I just think he felt super awkward, whereas Claire, she was
she was vibing. I think there was a little bit of, I think he almost had a little bit of both in that conversation where like he wanted to be relaxed and like he was like talking to an old friend, but also like the more and more that he realized like she knows him, like the more tense he got.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that really stood out to me. And again, like this just shows you that Carmi's got a lot of demons and issues that, you know, he's not really talking about, and he clearly doesn't want to bring people close because either he might hurt them or he thinks they might hurt him. But yeah, I think that's another point we're gonna have. Like, I wonder if there's gonna be another turning point, like the last episode of the first season, where he kind of like reveals everything that's going on in terms of like before it was talks about Mikey and like everything that he's been struggling with in a relationship sense, and why he's, you know, hesitant or struggling with starting a relationship with this girl that clearly he likes and clearly she likes him. So
we'll see.
So yeah.
One last thing. They opened Mikey's locker.
Yes. Yeah.
And they found his hat. And Carmi proceeded and gave the hat to Richie. What do you think Richie was feeling at that moment, getting that hat? Do you think it was a big moment for him?
I think it was a moment of understanding between the two of them, because I think Carmi for a while has felt like he doesn't have connection to his brother, because for a while his brother did exactly what Carmi is doing in terms of like pushing people out, pushing Carmi out specifically. And I think at some point too, like Richie had some issues with the way that Mikey left and the fact that he didn't talk to him about certain stuff. And, you know, he left the restaurant to Carmi and maybe not him, and like left him a letter and all that stuff. And I think this is just a moment of understanding between them that like whatever love is left over from Mikey's legacy, like they were the closest to him, so they should share it. You know what I mean? And I think that was important for Richie to see, and important for Carmi to kind of share that moment.
Yeah, it was a beautiful moment. I really like that. But with that being said, y'all, thank you so much for watching and listening to this episode. We'll be back for more of The Bear. We love you guys, and stay beautiful. Peace, guys.
See you soon.